अच्छा जी। सो अच्छा, आज ना कुछ डेंसिटी से क्वेश्चन करना है मेरे पास। जो ये एमसीक्यू की वर्कशीट है, ये प्रेशर डेंसिटी दोनों की है। सो पहले डेंसिटी की करते हैं, फिर प्रेशर की देखेंगे जब उसके चैप्टर पहुंचेंगे। अच्छा। सो ये क्वेश्चन आ रहा है डेंसिटी का, आ जाओ ट्राई करते हैं। सो तुमसे कह रहा है कि द डायग्राम शोज एन एम्प्टी रेक्टेंगुलर बॉक्स एंड the same box filled with the liquid. Okay, fine. The box has a mass of 60 gram when empty. When filled with the liquid, the total mass of the box and the liquid is 300. Okay, fine. So this means कि आपने जो है ना 240 kg का उसमें 240 ग्राम का उसमें लिक्विड डाल दिया। सही है। Now they're saying the density of the liquid is this much. What is the volume of the liquid inside the box? Okay, so 240 gram of, okay. So we can use the density is equals to mass over volume, right? So density is given as 1.2 grams per centimeter cube, and okay, you have to be careful. The total mass of the box and and the liquid is 300, right? And नीचे जो density दी हुई है, density of the liquid दी हुई है. So जिस चीज़ की density दी हुई है, उसी चीज़ का आपने mass भी use करना है, okay? You have to be very careful, right? So I'm using 240 and not 300 because 240 is a mass of the liquid out of the total mass, which is 300, because it's just 60 है, that is the mass of the empty box. Okay, so divided by the volume. So 240 divided by 120, 1.2, you'll get 200 something, right? It's 200. Perfect. Now let's move on. Okay. अच्छा, दिस टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन इज वेरी कॉमन, राइट? हर अगला क्वेश्चन तो तुम्हें इसी तरह का होगा, पेन बैलेंस दिया होगा बेकार सा, उसके अंदर से ना कोई चीज़ ऊपर रख के उसमें तुमसे काम करवा रहा होगा। ओके। So, it says that Aston uses a measuring cylinder and a balance to find the density of the oil. Okay, the diagram shows the arrangement used. Empty measuring cylinder. Okay, measuring cylinder containing the volume V of the oil. Okay, so mass पहले जो है ना, this mass M1 is the mass of the empty cylinder, right? And this M2 mass is basically the mass of the cylinder, right? Plus the mass of the oil, right? So if you want to find out the mass of the oil only, so you have to subtract M2 by M1, because M1 is the mass of the cylinder, right? So, and when you divide that by the volume V, you'll get the density, right? So that would give you T. Okay. आ जाओ। अगेन द सिमिलर क्वेश्चन पहले वाला जिस तरह हमने किया है, द वॉल्यूम ऑफ द ओके। सो तुमसे कह रहे हैं कि द डायग्राम शोज एन एम्प्टी कंटेनर, द सेम कंटेनर इज फिल्ड विद द लिक्विड। ओके, द एम्प्टी कंटेनर हैज अ मास ऑफ दिस मच एंड द मास ऑफ दिस मच, फाइन। सो व्हेन फिल्ड विद द लिक्विड द मास इज 600 kg grams and when empty 120। ओके, सो डेंसिटी इज मास ओवर वॉल्यूम। ओके, कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है कि जिस चीज़ की तुम डेंसिटी निकाल रहे हो, उसी चीज़ का मास ऊपर आना चाहिए, उसी चीज़ का वॉल्यूम नीचे आना चाहिए, राइट? सो मास ऑफ द लिक्विड इज, यू हैव टू सब्ट्रैक्ट। ओके, एम्प्टी कंटेनर है और कंटेनर फिल्ड विद द लिक्विड, तो टोटल मास में दे रखा है। ओके, सो देखो यहाँ पे भी मेंशन है। ओके, सो तुम्हें करना है 600 माइनस 120, you'll get 480। सो 480 डिवाइडेड बाय द वॉल्यूम गिवन इज 600, राइट? तो निकाल दो भाई कितना आता है। 480, 600, 4/5 0.8। फाइन, आ जाओ आगे आ जाओ। अच्छा जी। अगेन देखो सीधा क्वेश्चन, एक ही टाइप का क्वेश्चन आता है, कोई नई चीज़ इसमें नहीं आनी। सही है। तुमसे कह रहा है कि मेजरिंग सिलेंडर कंटेन ओनली वाटर इज प्लेस्ड इन एन इलेक्ट्रॉनिक बैलेंस, स्मॉल irregularly shaped stone is now completely immersed in the water. Okay, the diagram shows the equipment before and after the stone immersion. Okay, तो पहले तुम्हारे पास वॉल्यूम आ रहा है 40, आफ्टर इमर्जन तुम्हारे पास आ रहा है 60, 65 एंड 70, 65। ओके, सो बेसिकली अगर तुमसे कोई बंदा पूछे वॉल्यूम ऑफ द स्टोन क्या है, तो तुम माइनस कर दोगे, राइट? बिकॉज द वॉल्यूम ऑफ द वाटर इज नॉट चेंजिंग, राइट? इट इज इनसाइड एंड सेम, यू आर नॉट एडिंग और रिमूविंग एनी वाटर, यू आर जस्ट एडिंग अनदर थिंग दैट इज स्टोन। ओके, सो तुम कह दो कि 40 माइनस 65 करोगे, तुम्हारे पास कितना आ जाएगा? 35 आ जाएगा। 50, 60, 65 25 आ जाएगा सही 25 is a volume this is a volume right and when only the liquid and the measuring cylinder the balance show this much reading 105 and when there is the stone in it then आपको ये शो कर रहा है 217 so 217 माइनस करोगे 105 wait 105 minus 217.5 112.5 112.5 okay so this is the mass I'm getting for this stone and they're asking for the density okay so 112.5 divided by 25 okay so I am getting 4.5 4.5 fine चलिए जी again the masses of the measuring cylinder before and after pouring some liquid into it are shown the mass and the mass okay 80 without any liquid and 180 with liquid so this means there's 100 gram of the liquid that you added okay so 100 divided by you they're asking you to find the density okay so we can read the volume right so 100 120 140 160 180 and 200 okay so 140 140 okay so B fine सीधा सीधा क्वेश्चन आ रहा है बिल्कुल सीधा सीधा आ रहा है आ जाओ थोड़ा सा मजे का है so they're saying a student measures the volume of the cork. He puts some water into a measuring cylinder and then one glass ball. Okay. He put the cork and then a second क्या कर रहा है पागल है क्या wait he put some water okay and then one glass okay fine and then a cork and then a second identical ball as shown okay so they're saying identical ball meaning that they both have the same volume now when empty like without any material in it so the mass was 50 the volume was 50 okay and when you add the glass ball one glass ball so the volume increase from 50 to 60 right so this means that one glass ball is of 10 centimeter cube okay this means if you have two of them so it will occupy 20 okay and okay let me read on. So diagram one show the first water level. The diagram show the water level after one glass ball is added. The diagram three shows the water level after the cork and the second glass ball are added. What is the volume of the cork? Okay, so we know that the initial volume is 50. Okay, the initial volume will not going to change. Okay, because you're not removing any water. You're not adding it. Okay, so the initial volume is 50 and it remains the same throughout. Okay, and you have 20 centimeter cube volume occupied by the wall. Okay, so 20 plus 50, you'll get roughly 70, right? 70 centimeter due to the volume of the ball. Two balls plus the liquid. Now you're left with the cork, and the total volume is 100. 100 में से तुम 70 minus कर दो, you get 30 as a cork right basically तुम अगर तुम्हें नहीं समझ में आया तो तुम इसको ऐसे भी ब्रेक कर सकते हो right you have the 100 cm cube volume right और वो किन किन के बीच में filled up a liquid okay plus two ball okay plus a cork okay now we know that liquid occupies 50 cm cube. We know that one ball is of 20 cm cube, and this says that the balls are identical. So it's 20. Okay, plus the cork is to be the volume of the cork is to be found. तो तुम आगे पीछे करोगे, you'll get the answer. Okay, जी. Let's move on to the volume of. Okay, fine. The measuring cylinder contains some water. A small metal block is slowly lowered in the water and then removed. Okay. Finally, a piece of plastic is attached to the metal block and the block is again slowly lowered into the water. The diagram shows blah blah blah. Okay. What is the volume of the piece of the plastic? Fine. Look, again the same thing. So the total volume over here is 80, right? Is 80, and the total volume is basically shared between, yeah, shared among the liquid plus the metal block plus the plastic. Okay. Now we know that from the first picture that the liquid level is 55. Okay. So this the one small box is 5 and then 10 and then so on. So it is basically 55. Okay. Plus the metal block. When you add the metal block, so it causes the liquid level to rise from 55 to 70, which means 15, right? 55, 60, and 70. So the metal block has a volume of 15 plus the plastic. Is the volume of the plastic is unknown. Okay, so 50 plus 10, so 70, right? So 80 minus 70, you'll get 10. You'll get 10. Okay, आप ऐसा कर सकते हो, right? Now let's move on to another question. Allahu Akbar. अच्छा जी. Force. So, okay, the question says a liquid has a volume of this much and the mass of that much. What is the density? Okay, देखो क्वेश्चन देखने में बड़ा सिंपल सा लग रहा है लेकिन इन्होंने बहुत छोटी हरकत की हुई है इसमें, राइट? देखो यहाँ पे इन्होंने ग्राम दे रखा है एंड इन ईच एंड एवरी ऑप्शन दे गेव द आंसर इन kilograms. Okay, so you have to be very careful in conversion. Okay, so 3 0 1 2 3, and you have to convert gram into kilogram, so you can either divide it by 1000 or you can just write 1 exponent negative 3. This is actually the equivalent of 1000. Okay, divided by the 1000 wala scene and 0.04, right? So तुम जो है कर दो into 1 exponent negative 3 divided by 4.04, 750. Fine, simple one, but you have to be careful with that. Okay, now the largest, okay, the diagram shows four blocks of the different metals. Each block has a mass of this much. Okay, they all are same in mass. Which metal has the largest density? Largest density mean it should have the smallest volume. Okay, because the density is inversely proportional to the volume, right? You're keeping the mass constant. Okay, so let me just find out the volume quickly. So since we have the cubes, okay, so we can multiply each and every sides. So 2 times 1 times 1, you'll get 2 centimeter cube. 2 times 2 times 1, you'll get 4 centimeter cube. Okay, and 3 times 1 times 3 1, so you'll get 3 centimeter cube. And then 3 times 2, which is 6 times, so 6 centimeter cube. Okay, so the smallest volume gives the option A, so it will have the largest density, right? Now आगे चलते हैं. Again the same question. The block. अच्छा जी, थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूज किया है इन्होंने, थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूज किया है. um, Fine. What is the which block has the greatest density? They're saying four blocks with their dimensions and masses. Okay, so all with the different masses and all with the different dimensions. Okay, so okay, fine. So here nothing is constant, everything is changing, right? So to find the density of the first one, you can just do 14 divided by you just need to do the base area into height. The base area is 10 into height is 2. Okay, so if you consider the conversion, so then you don't need to. Okay, because if you don't do conversion, so सारे के अंदर conversion नहीं हुए, so it won't affect your answer. Okay, so this is the density for the first one. So you'll get how much? 14 divided by 10, 14 divided by 20, 20, getting 0.7, 0.7. Fine. So for the second one, it's 48, the mass divided by the base area, which is 20 into height, which is 2. So you'll get 48 divided by 40. I am getting 1.2, 1.2. Fine. And then the third one is 54, 54 divided by 10 times 2, 20. 20. So it gives 54 divided by 20. I'm getting 2.7. 2.7. Okay, and for the last one, 68 divided by 20 times 2, 40. 40. So 48, 68 divided by 40. So 1.7. So 1.7. So you can see that C has the greatest density. Janab. So now they're saying a metal has a density this much, a solid cube of a mass this much is made from this metal. How long is each side of the cube? So they're saying it's a cube. Cube meaning सारी साइडें बराबर होने वाली है. Okay. So if you can find any one of the side, you'll get the answer. Okay. But problem is कि इन्होंने kg को ग्राम को साथ दिया हुआ है. Right. So density is equals to mass over volume. So density is basically 8 grams. So if you want to convert it into kilograms, just need to multiply it, just need to divide by 1,000. Okay, which I did. And this is the density. This is the mass. This is the mass, and the volume. The volume. Okay. So if you take 1 kg divided by 8 exponent negative 3, you'll get how much? 1 over 8 exponent negative 3. मेरे को बहुत गंदी फीलिंग आ रही है. Sure. So I am getting the volume as 125. 125. Fine. So if the volume is 125 and we know that this is a cuboid meaning all the lengths are same, which means I can also write L cube in place of volume. Okay. और अगर L cube क्योंकि तीनों साइड इक्वल है, right? So length into length into length. Okay. And to find L you just need to cube root it. Okay. तुम्हें वैसे पता होगा 5 का स्क्वायर जो होता है वो 25 होता है, क्यूब 125 होता है, राइट? तो क्यूब रूट करो तो 5 आ जाएगा. आगे आ जाओ. सो तुमसे कहता है कि एक्स वाई एंड जी आर द थ्री रेक्टेंगल रेगुलरली शेप्ड एंड सॉलिड ऑब्जेक्ट देयर डायमेंशंस एंड द masses आर शोन. ओके ओके ओके. सही हो गया. क्या कहता है? Which object has the same density? Same density. Fine. So we have to find out the density. हर किसी के अंदर अलग अलग. So density is equals to mass, which is 200 divided by 10 times 5, 15. No, sorry. 10 times 5, 50 times 200. So 100. I'm getting the density as 2. So 200 divided by 6 times 4 is 24, 48. No, sorry. 6 times 4, 24 times 3. 60, 72, 72. Okay, so this will not have the same density as X. Okay, now 50 has a mass, 50 is a mass, 25 is divided by 25, so I'm getting 2 as a density. So X and Z shares the same density. X and Z shares the same density. Fine. Okay, they're saying the density of the air is this much. The room has a dimension. This is this. Okay, what is the mass of the air inside the room? Okay, so 1.2 is the density. I'm using the same formula mv. Okay, and the mass is unknown. You know the volume. You just need to multiply all the lengths together. So 5 times 4 times 3. So 5 4s are 20. 23 60. So just 60 into 1.2. 1.2 is basically 5 over 4. 5 over 4. 4 ones are 4 tens are 15s are and 15 into 5. नहीं नहीं गलत हो गया, गलत हो गया. बहुत ज़्यादा होशियारी हो गई. Let me just do it. So 60 into 1.2. 90. I'm getting 90. 90, how is that possible? ये तो आंसर भी नहीं है. Wait. 5 times 4 times 3. 60, yes. The room has the dimension. Okay. And the density is so into 1.2. 72. Okay, fine, 72. Sorry. Now, तो जनाब, the density of the liquid, the pressure. Okay, fine. We are not doing the pressure right now. ओके, सो तुमसे कहता है ये वाला कर लो, ये वाला कौन सा, ये वाला, हाँ। तुमसे कहता है कि फोर hollow glass sphere P, Q, R and S each have a mass of 72 gram. Their volume are given in the table. Okay, इतना इतना इतना. Which sphere sinks in the liquid of the density 0.9 gram per cm cube? Okay, so for the sinking, you know that uh, the density of the object should be greater than the density of the liquid. Okay, so if the mass is given 72, okay, so if we use every volume, right, to find the density of every option, so we can compare easily कि कौन सा सिंक होगा कौन सा नहीं होने वाला है. Okay, so 72 divided by 55, okay, then 72 divided by 65, then 72 divided by 75 and so on. Okay, so 72 divided by 55 gives me, come on, 50, 72 divided by 55 is giving me 1.3, so this will definitely sink. Okay, 72 divided by 65, 1.1, 1.1, fine. 72 divided by 75, this will also going to sink 0.96, and 70 सारे डूब रहे हैं यार, किसी काम का नहीं है. 0.85, okay. So PQRA, fine. S is 0.847 denser. Okay, आगे आ जाओ भाई. तुमसे कहता है the mass of the measuring cylinder is this much. Okay, cmq, 400 cm of the liquid is put in the measuring cylinder. The total mass of the measuring cylinder is, okay, four solid objects are lowered in. Okay, the densities are shown, which object will float. Okay, तो मेरा यहाँ पे घुमा रहा है, तो मैं यहाँ पे जो है थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूज करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, लेकिन अम, थोड़ी सी कैलकुलेशन मुंह पे रख के मारो इनके. सही है. देखो, the mass of the measuring cylinder is this much. Okay, the volume का तुम्हें उसने liquid का volume दे रखा है, and they also give the total mass. So if you subtract 560 from 190 from 560, so come on, so you will get how much? You will get minus 190, you will get 370. Okay, so this 370 is a mass of the liquid that you put in. Okay, so and you know that the volume is 400, so divide कर दो तुम्हें, ये पता लग जाएगा इसकी डेंसिटी, राइट. नाउ you know that for sinking and floating, the density of the object is, if it's greater than the density of the liquid, then the object will ultimately sinks. Okay, and if the density of the object is lower than the density of the liquid, then it will float. Okay, so this will float, this will float, this cannot, and this cannot. So one and two, one and two, fine, one and two. आसान से जा रहा है, आई होप सो आसान से. अच्छा जनाब, the density, okay. So they're giving the density, the water has a density of this much, a rectangular swimming pool having the average depth, okay, the length of the pool, the width of the pool, okay. What is the mass? So density is equals to mass over volume. Simple सा question है, mass over volume. So density is 1000, right? And to find the volume, you just need to multiply all the lengths, 1.6 into 25 into 10. Okay, so you'll get, I'm just multiplying, so 1000 into 1.6 into 25 into 10, getting 4x1 and 5, 5 zeros आ रहे हैं, सी आ जाएगा. अच्छा जनाब, again, similar concept. Rectangular gymnasium is 50 meter long, 25-meter width, 8-meter height. The density is this much. Again, you have to multiply it, okay? To get the, so 1.2 is the density times 50 times 25 times 8. So 9600. Not the answer. Come on. Times 50 times 25 times 8. ओके सो नो, सही है। अच्छा बोला, सही जा रहे हैं, पता नहीं क्या मसला हो रहा है। रेक्टेंगुलर, ओके। A rectangular gymnasium is 50 meter long. Okay, sorry, my bad. 25 होना चाहिए ना, so guarantee, yes. Okay, again, this is another question. A metal ball is attached to the cork and lowered into the measuring cylinder, pulling the cork into the water as shown. Okay. Cork है, ball है, and water. Okay. Okay, the density of the cork. Fine. So initially the volume is 48. When you lower the ball, the volume increases to 56. So 48, 6 and 8. 8 cm cube is the volume of the ball. And when you lower the both of the thing, then you're getting 80 centimeter, right? So if you do 80 centimeter, if you subtract the 80 centimeter by 56, and remember 56 centimeter contains the volume of the liquid plus the volume of the ball, right? So you'll get 60, 70, 80. So 24 divided by 4, sorry, so 4.8 divided by 24. So 4.8 divided by 24, getting 0.2. चलो भाई, चलो। ऐसे ये बड़ा गंदा सा क्वेश्चन था यार। अच्छा जी, इसको ट्राई करते हैं, ये अजीब सा क्वेश्चन था। सो आपसे कहते हैं कि a square wooden raft float on the lake. The density of the water in the lake is 1,000. The side of the raft are 2 meter long, and the thickness of the raft is point 0.2 meter. The mass of the raft is this much. How many barrels of each of the mass this kg could be placed on the raft before it surface sinks in the surface of the water? Fine. So basically, like if you are on the in the water, and there's a we can say लकड़ियों का जो ना raft is basically made out of wood, right? Just you basically like to carry something from one point to another point in the liquid, in the sea, in the lake. Okay. तो वो बेसिकली लकड़ी का एक सॉर्ट ऑफ फट्टा होता है, उसके ऊपर जो है ना तुमने वो रखा हुआ होता है, मतलब चीज़ें बैरल वगैरह रखे हुए होते हैं, सही है, लाइक दिस। So, so if we are the side of the raft is this much, the thickness is this much, the mass of the raft. Okay, so if we find the mass of the raft, if we find the density of the raft, so 700 divided by zero point 0.2 into 2, the sides of the raft into 4, correct, right? Into 4. So the sides of the raft, which mean 2 meter long, so sides between two sides of the raft is 2 meter long, and the thickness is zero point 0.2. Fine, and the mass of the raft is this much. Okay, so I am getting the density as 875. Okay, so obviously the raft itself has a density lesser than the density of the water. So initially, दो float कर रहा होगा, right? How many barrels each of the mass could be placed? Interesting. Okay, so they're not mentioning the volume of the barrels. Okay, so if let's say we assume that their volume, like they are hollow. Okay, so if we assume that they're hollow, but mm, that wouldn't make sense. So if we just consider the mass, okay, so अगर हम mass ले लें, so 700, and let's say if we put one barrel of 100 kg and divide by 2 into 0.2, right? अगर हम ऐसा करें, so let's see कितना हमारे पास आता है. I am getting 1,000. if I place one barrel, okay, तुम कह सकते हो कि भाई, okay, if you are placing one barrel on the raft, then why are you not adding its volume? Okay, so it's not given. This is not not the excuse, but the volume of the barrel is not given. But I'm saying that it has a negligible volume. Let's say. So we are only left with the mass, okay? So we have to add the mass, and the volume is not given, or the volume is not mentioned, or whatever, okay? So I'm just giving that. So जब मैंने एक barrel को रखा, so I am getting the density as 1,000, like the density of the raft is 1,000. So when you place one barrel, so the raft will start sinking, right? And as you put in another barrel, so the density would be 1125. It will sink. It will definitely sink. Okay. तो एक एक से ज्यादा काम नहीं चलाएगा, राइट? चलिए भाई, आ जाइए। अगेन द सेम टाइप क्वेश्चन। तुम खुद कर सकते हो भी ये इतना मुश्किल नहीं है। तुम्हें दिया हुआ है completely filled with the water, डायमेंशन दी हुई है, ओके। व्हाट इज द मास ऑफ द वाटर इन द टैंक? Okay, so you just need to multiply 1,000 into 5 times 4 times 4, so 8,000, 80,000, sorry. Hmm. Okay, so which table has the lowest density? Which substance in the table has the lowest density? Okay, you have to find each density. So इसकी आ जाएगी 1.2, इसकी आ जाएगी 1.5, इसकी आ जाएगी 0.8, इसकी आ जाएगी 1. Okay, so T I, sorry, yes, C. सही है। And yes, done, 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 done. Okay, so we are done with the density questions. Chalo.